No BS, I'm going to be talking about key factors which are overlooked regarding sensitivity and what you should be aware of. After this video, you may realize some things are influencing your sensitivity more than you actually think. So if you want to know more, stick around. Everyone knows that finding your sensitivity may not be easy if you're new to FPS games, but I don't think only relying on what your favorite players use is the best way to go. From my experience, what not many people are considering is the equipment. But Fox, what do you mean? Let's say your sensitivity in Valorant is 0.2 with 800 DPI. This will not feel the same if you're using a Logitech G502 wireless mouse which weighs 114 grams compared to a Logitech G Pro Superlight which weighs 63 grams, almost half the weight. Yes, it may technically be the same centimeter distance traveled to turn 360 degrees, which is what sensitivity is calculated upon, but the question is, how much force are you applying to your mouse to move it to a direction? Think about it. I'm no physicist, but let's say it takes you 20% of your energy from your arm to make a full 360 degrees turn on your mouse which weighs 114 grams. With the same exact sensitivity and equipment, but if you change your mouse to a 63 grams Logitech G Pro Superlight, do you think it would require less energy to move the mouse, the same, or more? In my experience, it required less strength and energy. For example, it may instead require 15% of my arm energy. This difference can affect your muscle memory of how much strength you need to move your mouse to have your cursor at the right distance. The weight of your mouse is important. Some people prefer heavier and some prefer lighter. It's personal preference, but I don't think you can have the same exact sensitivity experience with a mouse that weighs half the weight of another. The second factor is the mouse pad. Most new players probably have something like the SteelSeries QCK or something they can easily get from Amazon, but depending on your pad type such as hard pad, cloth pad, hybrid, etc., this can affect the amount of energy used to move your mouse across the mouse pad. For example, a cloth pad is typically going to have more friction, whereas hard pads are made of different materials which give it less friction, and because of the difference in friction, the same sensitivity can feel very different when playing. I also want to mention lifespan of mouse pad and humidity. Have you ever had that feeling where some days you are doing very well and other days you can't hit any shots? This could be due to lack of practice, not being well rested, or other factors, but this could also be due to your mouse pad, as some mouse pads are affected by humidity or wear out quickly. With my QCK mouse pad, the middle section was used the most, which made that part have a heavy and muddy feeling, which made it slow to move, whereas the edges of the pad felt faster. I didn't really think much of it, but once I got more into FPS games, I later realized that because I had it for several years and I didn't wash it or replace it, that mouse pad had worn out and required a wash or a replacement. The topic of mouse pads is huge, but there is a master spreadsheet done by a person called Hoya, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who tests different mouse pads and their qualities, such as friction, stopping power, lifespan, how affected it is by humidity, as well as other factors. This spreadsheet will be in the description. I would recommend checking it out, and if you want to see what different types of mouse pads are out there, perhaps go to your local computer or game store, which would have some of these pads to try out. I personally can't use a hard pad. It is way too light for me to move my mouse around, so I use a cloth pad. The third topic I want to discuss is your mouse grip. Depending on your mouse grip, your range of motion may be limited. If you're an arm aimer, wrist aimer, or fingertip aimer, you would need your sensitivity to fit that style. For example, if your favorite player is a wrist aimer and has a high sensitivity, and you're an arm aimer who uses your full arm to move your mouse, you may find it difficult to be able to control the mouse at higher sensitivities, as you're probably used to lower sensitivities. The same applies for the opposite. If you are using low sensitivity but you only use your wrist, it may not be as easy to do 180s or flicks unless you use your entire arm or something like Raw XL. For this, I would recommend experimenting with different grip styles and seeing what feels most comfortable when playing. Spend a few days with each grip style so you get a good idea of which one is best for you. The fourth thing I want to discuss is mouse size. There are various shapes and sizes of gaming mice, but the one thing that can be quite impactful with your comfort of aiming and ultimately controlling your mouse is the size. If you have small hands and you use a large mouse, it may be difficult to control the mouse because you may compromise your mouse grip. This could also be the case in reverse. If a mouse is too small for you, you may have to fingertip grip instead of palm grip, which could be better for you. Finding the right mouse size which matches your preference, along with the right mouse pad and the right mouse, can affect your sensitivity experience. I wanted this video to be straight to the point. A lot of these topics can get quite detailed, but I wanted to provide an overview so you guys have an idea of things which could affect your sensitivity. I might make some detailed videos in the future about these topics, but until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.